Hey beauties, and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new to my channel, then welcome to my channel, and don't forget to click that subscribe button and turn on your bells. Today I'll be showing you guys how to melt a lace frontal on a dark skin girl. Okay, so this would be like a real melt down, honey, and this is just focusing straight on the frontal. Today's hair is provided by Nadula hair. They sent 226 and 228 in straight bundles and a matching 20-inch frontal, or maybe it's a 22 frontal, but all of the details and the description to this hair will be down below, so make sure you guys check that out. Now off camera, I went ahead and had her braided down. I put the cap on, and I used a nude cap, and the foundation that I put on top of her cap was the Ruby Kisses foundation in level 16, and I used a combination of those two shades. And right now all I'm doing is placing the frontal onto her head, and once you have it placed on, make sure they firmly hold it into place. And now I'm going to go ahead and I'm just taking my needle and thread and just sewing that frontal down from side to side. What I like to do to make sure that it is laying completely flat, as I am stitching it down, I kind of like stretch it out to make sure that it's not like all bundled up, and that it lays exactly how I need it to lay. And if you are doing that correctly and they're holding it correctly, your frontal should lay completely flat down, just how you see it here, with no like spaces, gaps, or anything bulging up. And now that I have that stitch on, I'm going to go ahead and take that same Ruby Kisses foundation in that level 16, and I will be using the darkest shade, and I'm just going to apply that foundation all on the inside of her lace. You want to make sure that you spread that out very evenly, and as you can see, it's matching with that cap in front of me. The cap that's attached to her head. And I'm going to take that foundation as well and apply it on the front end of that lace too, because even though you spread it underneath, sometimes it may not blend the way you need it to. So I just like to go in front of the lace a little bit as well, and I don't get any cakey results or anything like that. So I recommend to you to do, for you to do it. I mean, shit, I do it. So now I'm just going to go in with my Beautiful Hustler lace matte adhesive, and I am going to add about 4 to 5 layers. I did show pretty much every layer on here. Maybe I did use 4, but I'm just taking my lace matte adhesive and just applying it all over the front of that cap and a little bit on that hairline. And right now you don't have to focus on trying to spread it out too wide to catch every piece once you like tack it down, but just put enough to like at least hold the frontal in place. And if anything else is still lifting, all you have to do is just completely tack it down. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and add my layers, and then I will come back on when it's time to secure the lace. So now that we are done adding all of the layers, I'm going to go ahead and pull that lace frontal down into their glue. In the same way you have them, you had them hold that frontal when you were stitching the back, it's the same way you want them to hold it down as you place the, the frontal down into that glue, just to hold it in place and make sure that your frontal is laying down completely flat. And while you begin to do like the blow drying and combing the lace in, it's just laying completely flat and it does not move that way. You don't have to worry about any ripples in the lace or anything like that. So I'm just going to blow dry that frontal on that heat setting. And once you have it dried all the way, you can begin to cut off the extra lace. And I'm going to start by cutting the flaps around the ear. Make sure you cut that extra lace off. You do not want to leave that lace on top of the ear because it will become very irritating in the long run. And then I'm just also going to slit that frontal right down the middle and just going in with my eyebrow razor and razoring off the extra lace. And as you can see, it's a melt, of course. Like, don't get me wrong, I love doing lace on every skin tone, but it's just something about the chocolate girls because they are always the ones who are the scaredest to get lace frontals and wigs and stuff, because they always complain about it being too ashy, or their scalp look orange, or it's always like too not realistic looking and it never matches their skin tone. So when I be able to slay the dark skins, like, listen, I just be in heaven, they be in heaven, and they be stuck, okay? So just patting myself on the back. But yes, honey, as you can see, this lace is getting melted to the gods. Like, it's literally like, what lace? Like, I'm here for this install. And I love Nadula hair. Like, the quality of their hair is bomb. Like, they're one of my top favorites of all the companies that I work with, because it's just the quality of their frontals and their hair itself. And just anything they send me is just always bomb. Wigs, everything, just always bomb. So I really do love Nadula as a hair company. But now I'm just going to continue, just throwing that out there. But now I am going to continue to just do the same steps I did to this side, to the other side, and then we'll proceed on with the next steps. Now, usually if you are a Beautiful Hustler subscriber, I am Beautiful Hustler TV subscriber, then you should already know I usually go in with the holding spray and the melt belt as the next step. But I'm going to kind of do things a little bit out of order today, especially because we were pressed for time as well. So I wanted to get majority of the styling process done, because remember guys, this is only the frontal that's on right now. We haven't even added the hair in the back yet. And so, you know, we was getting ready to go to her photo shoot. Y'all know this is my girl or whatever. So, you know, we were really on the press for time. So we had to get the slays in quick. And, you know, we had to just get her hair and makeup done in an hour total. So, we made it possible though. And so I decided I was just going to style the actual frontal and everything first, and then I was just going to go off camera and just bond in the back of the hair. So that's what I end up doing. So before I actually do the whole melt belt process, what you see me doing now is just pulling down everything that would be for the baby hairs, and applying that wax as well, just to kind of get it prepped for the hot combing process. And then I'm going to go in with the holding spray, and then use the melt belt so it can be, you know, melted in really good, and the baby hair is already falling down in the direction that it needs to go. So that's what I'm going to do now. Like I mentioned, take that GLAMWAX stick and just put it behind those baby hairs, kind of like on the hairline but behind the baby hair. And then I'm going to tie it down with the once I hot comb it a little bit, I'm going to tie it down with the melt belt, and then, you know, get into doing all the baby hairs and stuff like that. And as we're getting closer and closer into slaying this frontal, y'all can see it's already giving scalp tease. Like, so you know this installation was just gonna be raw, as you can see that. And like I mentioned off camera, I am going to go ahead and bond in the tracks. And while I was actually bonding in the tracks, my sister was doing her makeup and stuff, so you will see her come back on with a beat. Well, like with a mostly complete bead. It was still incomplete, but we know, like I said, we had to do what we had to do in a little bit of time that we had. So now I'm just gonna go ahead and remove that melt belt, and I'm gonna go ahead and remove that melt belt, and then we're gonna start to, you know, finish up the finishing touches as far as doing the baby hair and just getting everything sleek to my liking, to perfection, of course, and then just cleaning up those over bleached knots and everything like that. So now I'm just going back in with the wax stick, and I'm going to do some more hot combing just to get it super sleek and super flat. But also remember that you always want to add like a parted section in the back of your frontal, and that's going to cover up the tracks that you either sewed in the back or you glued in the back, and that just really gives it that seamless, you know, flat look. So make sure you do not skip that step. You do need to comb and part off a section to cover those tracks behind you know, that frontal. So I did that step, and I'm just hot combing everything out to perfection. Like, I just want it to be super sleek, especially because it's long straight hair. Like, when you have long straight hair, it has to be sleek, it has to be raw, it has to be flat, you know. So that is the goal. And now I'm just going to take my scissors, And I'm going to do the baby hairs with, of course, the holding spray and a little bit of that mousse. And I'm using the Tresemme. And right now, Tresemme is becoming like my favorite because it doesn't leave that flakiness on your hairline. And it just gives you that nice little firm hold, but it still gives you a soft look. Like, it doesn't look hard or crunchy. So I really, really love that Tresemme. But then I also go in with my baby hairs and add a little bit of that Motions mousse, which has become my favorite as well. One, it smells so good, and it's just like, it makes the hair easy to swoop, like, and you don't have to worry about your lace lifting or anything. That's why I really like this Motions mousse as well. But once I get these baby hairs slayed on this side, I will just go ahead and repeat the same steps to the other side as well. And today, what I noticed, I did my baby hair slightly different than how I normally do them, but I actually loved it. So what I did do differently is I didn't cut them as short as I usually cut them. And what I noticed, it gave my baby hairs a different type of look, and I really, really liked it. So I think I'm going to switch it up every now and again, how I'm going to, depending on the style, how I'm going to do the baby hairs. But for this look, like, they was giving me life. I don't know now, like, they was just really like, I was really feeling the baby hairs in this tutorial. But I'm just going to continue to hot comb like I mentioned and just slay the baby hairs on this side as well, and then do the finishing touches.
What's good, Shakari?
So, last but not least, we're going to go ahead and black spray and clean up that part and use her same foundation to conceal it. And then my sister's going to go ahead and finish doing her makeup and everything like that, like the finishing touches, catching all the places where the makeup isn't complete, due to me having to put her frontal on and use alcohol and erase and, all that stuff like that. So once we, finish completing her makeup, once she finished completing her makeup, then I will go ahead and drop the finishing videos, which I'm not going to show her doing the makeup, but it's just kind of going to like mix over into that. So this is what the hair looks like complete. This hair is super soft, no frizzes, long, silky, just love Nadula. And as I mentioned, this is what it looked like once everything was all blended in and complete and we added the gloss. I'm talking about, it's scalp over here, honey, just straight scalp, baby hairs, just raw. Like, love this install. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This is a video of her standing up, showing the length of the hair and everything. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.